Hey there, guys. Welcome back. I'm Cerise Fairfax. Buckle up. Get ready. I'm coming at you from the north coast of the Dominican Republic and a province by the name of Puerto Plata and a municipality by the name of Sosua in an area where I live called Los Charamicos. I live where I love and I love where I live. Today is story time.
So one mornings let the day begin. I live where I love and I love where I live. Every moment here's got something to give. The rhythm of the islands in my soul. Living the good life, feeling whole.
Okay, so this story time, it actually happened a very long time ago, about a year and a half ago. But now there is a new penal code law that is coming up. And not only that, in Sosua, there is a brand new prosecutor's office with 3 prosecutors and beside it, a police office. And not only that, a lot of changes are happening right now in the Dominican Republic. 2,000 plus police officers have been put on the task force. Now, this is about a guy, we're going to name him Tony. Tony came here from the United States. Now, he was coming here for many, many years. He loves the Dominican Republic. It was his place to come to. When he came here, he actually met his Dominican wife. He fell in love with her, took her back to the United States. They had 2 children together. He helped her get set up in business. She was in a cosmetics business, doing hair, doing nails, doing makeup. She was going through school for aesthetics as well, and also getting a license on how to do fillers and injections. So very busy woman, very smart woman, and she was on her business. She was standing on business all the time, and he really loved her. She never wanted to come back to the Dominican Republic and visit because her interest was only working. Now, here in Sosua is where he originally met her, and yes, she was a working girl, but he took her to the United States and she stopped that lifestyle and she started a new lifestyle. She only had 2 family members here in Sosua, her sister and her mother. Her mother passed away while she was in the hospital. Her mother died of diabetes. So her sister and her, they get along very well, and she took her sister to the United States. So she has no more family here. She's not interested in coming here and visiting anybody. She knew that Tony loved to come here to Sosua, and not just for the women. She knows that he loved to come here to the beach. She knows that he enjoys the food. He enjoys the electricity. He enjoys like just the energy of everything that goes on here. And he always brings his boys. She has suspected in the past that maybe he indulged in the women, but it wasn't something that she was putting her foot down about. You know, she felt like if he's doing that, then that's what he's doing in Sosua. He's not doing it when he is in the United States. So now he comes here. He comes here for 7 days on a vacation. Now, when he gets here, he's hanging out with his guy friends, and he meets a girl that he knew from back in the day before he even met his wife. And she was working at a bar, but she was still a working girl, you know, if you know what I mean. So he starts talking to her, and that attraction started to build again. Now, he said to me, he's like, Cerise, my wife is very beautiful, but you know, she gained a lot of weight. She just started to do business. She stopped making love to me. She wasn't the same woman that I met in Sosua. She started to become very Americanized, and our relationship changed 100%, but I still loved her. He said, it's just that when I got here to Sosua and I saw that woman, she had that authenticity that I really appreciated. I felt like I was being treated like a king again and appreciate it. So he took her home to his hotel room that night. Now, he was staying in a hotel, but it wasn't the type of hotel where there is a security guard hanging out. We'll call it more like just, I don't want to say the name of the place, but it there's a security guard, but not like how it would be at like your regular resort hotels, put it that way. So he takes her home that night, and he's with her, and she says to him, oh my gosh, I don't want to leave. I missed you so much. And he's like, I know, I really missed you too. He's like, so why don't you spend the week with me? I'm here for a whole week. Spend the week with me. And she's like, oh my gosh, but that means you have to pay for my babysitter. You have to pay my work. I have to get someone to take my shift. He's like, don't worry about all that. How much would I have to pay a babysitter for the week? She told him the price, and he was fine with it. He said, and what about your job? Like, you only make like 400 pesos a day anyway, $8 a day anyway. He's like, so you just get someone to work those shifts for you. And she's like, yeah, but I would have to pay them a little bit more for them to take the shift, because they're going to be working double shifts. And he said, okay, so then I'll give them, I'll give them 1,000 pesos for the day, each day for the 7 days. She's like, fine. Wow, that's great. She says, okay. So she felt good with him. For the whole week, they were just hanging out. Now, throughout the week, she was taking a few photos of the two of them. And like, they went to the monkey jungle. They went to, Telefrico, I believe it's called, in Puerto Plata. They went to Pink Street. They went to Umbrella Street. They went out to dinner. He really treated her good. Now, of course, he was going to have to pay her at the end of the week. And he also asked her that. Let me back up. He also asked her, while he was asking her the money questions, how much will it be for you for the week? And she said, oh, just give me what you want. You're my old friend. I love you. Just give me what you feel is fair. He was thinking he would give her a few $100 because he's taking her out. They're eating. He's paying for her babysitter. She's having a nice vacation as well. So they were chilling, and he asked her, he said, do me a favor, please don't take any photos of us. And she's like, these are for my memories. Like, last time when we were hanging out, I didn't have like WhatsApp, I didn't have a phone, and these are for my memories. And because he knew her for so long, he was like, all right, no worries. He didn't feel like she was going to be deceitful. But spoiler alert, she was more than deceitful. So the week comes to an end, and he's like, all right, you know what? Come to the bank with me. I'm going to go get the money out of the bank, and, we'll go get a bite to eat for breakfast. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to pack up, and I'm going to drive to Santiago because I have a couple of friends that I want to see there. And then I'm going to take the plane out of Santiago. She's like, okay. So they go to the bank. He gets the money out. They go to breakfast. They go back to his hotel room. And that's when he hands her 3 envelopes. He hands her the envelope for the babysitter, the envelope for her coworker, and then the envelope for her. So she opens up the envelope, each one, and she first counts the babysitter one. She's like, thank you. And then she opens up the one for her coworker, and she's like, oh, thank you. And then she opens up the one for her, and there's $400. Now, she spent 7 days with him, and she was probably expecting like about 150 a day, or maybe more. And so she said to him, she's like, there's only $400. And he's like, yeah. He's like, did you want more? Because if you were working, you would have not made that much at your job. And she's like, what I make at my job is none of your business. I spent all my time with you for 7 days. And he's like, wait, back up. $400 is what you would make not even in a month. And she's like, that's none of your business. That's not the point. I spent all my time with you. I had other things that I could have done, And he's like, wait. He's like, I don't know. Like, here, okay. He's like, whoa. Relax. I'll give you another 100. Is 500 okay? She's like, no, 500 is not okay. What's wrong with you? You're cheap. And she got up and she started to grab for his wallet. She started to grab his things, and she started to throw things on the ground. He grabbed his money and the money that he gave her, the envelopes, and he's like, give me this back. He's like, no, man, get out. And she's like, what? She freaked out. So he left the hotel room. to go get the management. The management followed him back into the hotel room. When the manager got back into the hotel room, the manager knows how to deal with these girls, and the manager saw her just go to town, just tearing everything up. She didn't break a TV. She didn't like rip the door off the fridge hinges or anything like that. She smashed a lamp, but she really did like mess up the place, and she was disorderly. And the manager said to him, you know what? The police are getting called. And so the police got there. And now she probably thought she would have right, because before the police force got ripped out of Sosua here recently, the whole entire force is gone from the top to the bottom and replaced. A lot of the girls worked alongside some of the police officers. But this manager was not working with the police officers. This manager knew the head honcho. And so when the police officers arrived, they had no superiority at all. So they, took her and they arrested her. And she had to go to the Fiscalia. She had to go to the prosecutor because the manager was tired of all these girls going into that hotel, messing it up, making noise, and disrupting the customers in the other places, like in the other rooms. So once that happened, she was angry because this guy, Tony, didn't even leave the money. He did not leave the money for the babysitter. He did not leave the money for the girl that took her shifts. And he did not leave that $400 for her either. He didn't say, here, give this to her for later. He didn't leave any money. He just, boom, took off to Santiago. Once he got to Santiago, he went home. And then the nightmares started. He started to get messages on his social media, and they were from her, private messages. He blocked her. And that wasn't the only thing. He was getting messages from her friends, everything. And he had to make his Facebook account private. But he didn't do it soon enough because she was able to go onto his Facebook and she was able to figure out who his wife was, his children's account as well, because him and this Dominican woman have been married for a very long time now. And they have children that also had Facebook accounts. So this girl went to town. She found them on Facebook. She was leaving them private messages. They weren't responding. She found them on Instagram. They're young teenagers. So she started to really bombard them on Instagram. They didn't even know who she was. They just were like, this lady's so crazy. And they asked their dad, they're like, Dad, you know who this lady is? Like, she says she's your friend from the Dominican Republic and she's pregnant. And he was like, oh, no. Some girls, they just do that for money. And he said, block her. So both of his kids blocked her. She got in touch with the wife. Now, the wife is Dominican, okay? And the wife doesn't put up with this. But the wife runs businesses and she's very active on the internet, especially on Instagram. This girl started commenting on every single post that the wife would put up. So the wife actually had to start turning comments off of her posts. No commenting. And that was starting to affect her business. But then this girl was messaging the wife and the private comments and everything. And then the girl started to show photos of an ultrasound. Photos of him and her, the same photos that he didn't want her to take at the Monkey Jungle and, Pink Street, Umbrella Street, all those photos she started to send the Dominican wife. Now, the Dominican wife was just like out of her mind. She's like, when you go to Sosua, you do your thing. I don't care. But now it's coming back here and I don't want this. And, he's like, well, what can we do? And she's like, did you have intimacy with this girl? And you didn't use a condom? And he's like, he told his wife the truth. And he's like, only one time I didn't, but, I was drunk. And she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, we need to figure out if this is your baby. And then he was so afraid because his wife said to him, listen, you need to go down there and get blood tests or, a swab. You need to figure out if it's your baby. But he was afraid to come here because she was blackmailing him. And she was also telling him that if he arrives here, they're going to take his passport away from him. Now, he went to the embassy and the embassy tried to help him, but they said, no, this is not true. She's blackmailing you. Like, I don't know anything about anyone getting their passport taken from them because they owe child support. If you owe child support, then you owe child support, but you don't even know if that's your baby yet. And for some reason, he didn't believe the embassy. For some reason, he just didn't believe anyone, and he was really afraid. So now, when it comes to the prosecutor's office in Sosua, he decided that he is going to fly here, and he is going to tell her that he will meet her. And when he meets her, he's going to ask that the fiscal, that a prosecutor is there with him. And he doesn't know if the prosecutor will do it. He doesn't know what's going to happen, but he is very adamant right now about coming down here, coming to Sosua, going to the fiscal office and telling them exactly everything. He has all of the reports, all the doctor reports. He has all of the ultrasounds that she sent him, all of the threats that she sent him. And especially after she sent them to his wife, everything. It was way over the top, he said. And so he's coming down here with all of that information, and he's hoping that this new penal code is going to get her, because he can remember back in the day when he met her, she was doing something else the same for her friend. Her friend was doing something to make a guy believe that that was the baby. And this girl was honest with Tony. She's like, I don't think it's his baby. But, he doesn't give her any money. He's cheapy. And Tony was like, whoa, you guys are running a game on him. Like, that's not good. And she's like, oh, a lot of girls do it. And she told him this before he met his wife. So, he's like, maybe that's the game that she played on him. So he's like, this is a whole entire setup, and he is coming down here and he's going to see if he can get her in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something very serious. I just brought out a video last Tuesday. Make sure you watch it. It's about the changes in the Dominican Republic, cracking down with the law. And I read the penal code to you guys, and that penal code gives people up to 40 years to 60 years. And if you can prove that they were repeating a crime over and over again, blackmail and all this type of stuff, then they can get in huge problems. So it looks like that scam's going to stop real soon. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to let me know down below where you're watching this video from. Huge hugs, loads of love, big blessings. Be good to yourself out there. Tomorrow's not promised, so make today count. Bye. See you next video. Remember, Saturday is going to be the scoop. Saturday Sosua Scoop, questions and answers, and also things of what's going on around the world right now. We'll also see you on Tuesday for lifestyles, and every Thursday is story time. Have an amazing day, guys.
Woke up to the sunrise, paint in the sky. Palm trees swaying like they're saying hi. Coconut water dripping down my chin. So mornings, let the day begin. I live where I love and I love where I live. Every moment here's got something to give. The rhythm of the islands in my soul. Living the good life, feeling whole. Queen Cerise rules her island charm. Locals teach me peace with no alarm. Mango sweet papayas in my hand. Learning their ways I start to understand. I live where I love and I love where I live. Every moment here's got something to give. The rhythm of the islands in my soul. Living the good life, feeling whole. Oh, dancing in the streets to the beat of the drum. Stories of the past from the old and the young. Traditions flowing like the waves in the sea. The north coast of Sosua, it's setting me free. Fishermen's boats coming back to the shore. Smiles all around, can't ask for more. This life's a treasure, a gift from above. In Sosua, I found a home to love. I live where I love and I love where I live. Every moment here's got something to give. The rhythm of the islands in my soul. Living the good life, feeling old. I live where I live. Every moment here's got something to give.